Another one more challenge that we face in life is how to face death. Now, facing the life means also facing death, because life and death are obverse and reverse of the same coin. Particularly during this pandemic, so many people were afraid what will happen if it comes to us, and if we die, what will happen. There was so much of fear among the people, and such type of things happen. And when we see others, sometimes we are beset with fear. How to overcome the fear of death? This is also part of the facing the problems of life. How to overcome the fear of death? Here also we get the message of Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita comes to help us. How? Because of the immortality of the soul. The message that is given in Bhagavad Gita, immortality of the soul. When Alexander the Great came to India, he was in search of a saint whom he would take to his country. After a long search, where he was passing through the forest, he saw one saint sitting on a bit of a rock, hardly any clothes on him, but he was deep in meditation, and he was very much impressed. And after, when his meditation was over, Alexander started talking to him and became very much impressed with his knowledge. So he told him, now I am very much impressed by your knowledge. You must come to my country. I'll build a beautiful palace for you. I'll give you very nice garments. I'll give you all the facilities. Please come to my country. The saint smiled and said, why should I come to you? I'm very happy here. This river is giving me water. Tree is giving me fruits. I don't need clothes. The sky is my cloth. I'm very happy here. I'm fully blissful. I need not go anywhere. No, you must come to me. I had promised my guru that I'll bring a good saint from India. You must come to me. I'll not come. You have to come to me. I'll not come. Alexander was not a person who could beat anybody saying no to him, who would not tolerate, and became very angry. If you don't come, I'll cut you in pieces. And immediately drew out his sword. And when the sword came out from the sheath of Alexander, the other person would faint then and there. But here the reverse thing happened. The saint started laughing loudly. That is the most foolish thing you ever said, Raja. That is the most foolish thing you ever said, he said. Don't you know? Your sword cannot cut me. Fire cannot burn me. Air cannot dry me. The water cannot melt me. Water cannot wet me, because I am the birthless, deathless, ever pure, ever blissful Atman. Nothing can change me. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledayantyapo, shoshati marutah, achedyoyam, adayoyam, akledyo, ashoshevacha, nitya sarvakata saru, achaloyam sanatana. This is the message of Bhagavad Gita in the second chapter. This Atman cannot be cut by his sword. It cannot be wetted. It cannot be dried by air. It cannot be burnt by fire. Birthless, deathless, ever pure, ever blissful Atman. I am that Atman. He was not afraid of death. And the story says that the saint said, you fool, you want me to take to your country? I can see through my third eye. You are not going to reach your country. And the history says Alexander could not reach his country. On the way, he had a very peculiar type of fever. He fell sick. At his deathbed, he called the general. He said, now I'm dying. I wanted to meet my mother, but unfortunately, I will not be able to meet her. That was his last wish, but it could not be it could not be done. It could not be carried out. He loved his mother very much. He wanted to meet his mother, but he said, now I can't meet my mother. So you fulfill my last wish. And the general said, okay, sure, I will fulfill your last wish. Then they said, when I give up my body, you put my body into the grave and put my hands dangling out of the grave. The general says, surely we'll do it. But why this peculiar type of last wish that you are telling us? Then Alexander said, you see, I conquered the whole world. So many ornaments, so much of gold, so much of land, so many elephants, so many horses. But I can't carry anything. And I'm so sorrowful. I'm so miserable. That particular saint, he has conquered death. And that is why at the time of death, he was laughing. He was fearless. And here I am, full of fear. I am dying, sorrowful. Let the whole world receive the message. Alexander came and conquered the world. He could not conquer himself. And so he is going empty-handed. And that saint, he had conquered himself. So he has conquered death. He has conquered the fear of death. And here I am miserable, going empty-handed. Let the world receive the message. This is the message of Bhagavad Gita. Be fearless, conquer death. How? By realizing you are not this body, you are not this mind. Chidanand Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am birthless, deathless, ever pure, ever blissful Atman. This will not come in a day. We have to practice it, practice, makes a man perfect. This is what we have to do. Now we come to the third challenge. The challenge that we meet when there is a death of a near and dear one. And we become so much sorrowful because that is an irreversible process. No. Howsoever you may weep, that person who has left his body, that body will be burnt within 24 hours. Sometimes you may keep in cold storage for 2-3 days. That's all. Or it may be put in the grave, but that is the last. The body cannot come back. If you think a particular person is a body, that body will be destroyed. It cannot go on. So, life and death are opposite and reverse of the same coin. Death is inevitable. The most certain thing in this life is death. And the most uncertain thing is the time of death. But unfortunately, we do not remember it. And we forget about it. That is why Yudhishthira was asked this question by Yaksha. You know the story, the Pandavas were going in the forest and then they were thirsty and so they wanted to have water, and Bhima goes there to fetch water. Nearby pond, he doesn't come back. Arjuna goes, doesn't come back. Nakula, Sahadev, they all go, do not come. Finally Yudhishthira goes. He sees by the side of the pond all the 4 dead bodies. And then he wants to give water, again Yaksha appears. This is what will happen to you also, like your 4 brothers. Unless you reply all my questions, I'm not going to allow you to drink water. Yudhishthira, okay, ask me a question. And Yaksha asks so many questions. And Yudhishthira replies all the questions. And then these 4 brothers also come to life. One of the questions asked was, what is the most wonderful thing in the world? Had we been there, we would have told Taj Mahal or something. But Yudhishthira said, the most wonderful thing in this world is every day people are seeing, people are dying. Previously there was no TV, so only when really somebody is dying nearby neighborhood, only we could come to know. Now through TV every day we are seeing so many people dying. In the war in Russia, between Russia and Ukraine, so many people dying because of disease, because of this, that. Thousands of people dying every day. And so many you see on TV. And what a wonderful thing. Nobody thinks that he is going to die. Everybody thinks he is going to remain forever. He is purchasing the car, thinking that it will remain with him, and he will take it to the law. He will make a special request to Yamaraja to take that car with him, and he goes for that latest model car, latest model house. Everything is planning as if he is never going to leave this world. You ask anybody, when do you plan to go to death? Don't ask this question. I am not going to die. I never plan for death. This is the most wonderful thing. Everybody is seeing everybody other dying. So many people dying, but always thinking, I will never die. But death is certain. Most certain thing in this life is death. Most uncertain thing is the time of death. Anybody can die any moment. There is no guarantee after one moment we will be here. At 9:23 on 26 January 2001, they were going for flagging hoisting the flag. All those who were hoisting the flag, they survived. Those who were in the hostel or in the rooms and all that, they died. Gujarat earthquake, I am talking about. So within 1-2 minutes, everything was finished. So many people died. So you don't know what happens. Somebody will have a heart attack. Anything can happen in time. Anyway. So Sri Krishna says, Jatasya hi dhruva mrityu, dhruvam janma mritasya cha, tasmada pariharyate natam shochitu manas. Why are you worried, Arjuna? Because whosoever is born will have to die. And whosoever dies will have to be born again. Remember, will have to be born again. So whosoever is dying, don't worry. Whosoever is alive, he will die. But after death, again he will be born again. So why are you worried? This is the law. Birth and death follow in succession. And then says, Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya, navani grinati naroparani, तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. This giving up of the body is like giving up the garment. You know, a person, what does he do when a garment becomes old and torn? He gives up this garment, takes up the new garment. And there is always a joy to go for a new garment. There is no sorrow. You should not be sorrowful. Your relative who has died, he has changed the dress, that's all. And he will get a new cloth. He was old. The body was very emaciated. He was having cancer. And he was having so many problems with his body. So it is good. The cloth was torn. He has given up this dress. And he will get a new dress, get a new garment next birth. Why are you worried? It is like changing the dress, that's all. Death is nothing but changing the dress. When somebody changes the dress, you become happy. Oh, you are having a new cloth. Very nice. You appreciate. And when you yourself are changing the new dress, you also become happy. It is as good as that. You see, you cannot cut the argument of Sri Krishna, which is true. Very true. Because when the body dies, again there is rebirth. The law of reincarnation. Now it has been proved, verified by the scientists. Life after life by Dr. Zinod Smoothie. If you read so many books by Dr. Stevenson who come, they have all verified the law of reincarnation. So whosoever dies is reborn again. It's like changing the cloth. Why should you grieve for that person? So you get solace from this message, the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. That person for whom you are lamenting, the person who has died, your relative, he is not gone forever. He has gone temporarily, he has changed the dress, that's all. He will be reborn again with a new body, with a good healthy body. Of course, that will depend upon his karmas. If he has good karmas, he will have a very nice body. He will be born in a very good family. He will be born in a family with good education. Or if he has done bad karmas, he may not be born in there. It all depends upon the karma, whatever it is. But he is going to be born again. So don't lament. This is changing the dress. So we get a lot of solace when we read Bhagavad Gita. When somebody dies, near and dear one, that solace is obtained from Bhagavad Gita.